This is the blank printed circuit board that I ordered from China using the Seed Fusion service, which worked pretty well except for one problem they had with information online, where they provided a file that was they provided a CAM file that was not the correct one for newer versions of Eagle. But you can see the board here, double-sided board, silk screen, and silk screen on both sides. So some of the connectors up along the edge up here, they're that connector and that one and this one. That's the DC power, the PS2, and the RCA for the rig. They all mount on this side of the board along with the Fubarino and those components. This is the bottom side in the enclosure. This is the top side in the enclosure. And the switches and volume controls, the speed pot, and the stereo audio or paddle connectors mount on this side. So it's nice having silkscreen on both sides. This is the pack of, I guess, 8 more boards, because the minimum order basically was 10 boards. I think if I ordered less, the price just went up quite a bit per board. So this is the first assembly and almost fully tested. The only thing I haven't tested is the actual keying transistor and output to the RCA jack, but I don't envision any problems there, and I will be testing it eventually. But everything else, the Fubarino, the SD memory card on the Fubarino, so that's down here. The EEPROM that stores user parameters, and the piezo pot is mounted, elevated off of, the piezo speaker is elevated off of the board. The 7805 regulator is elevated up a little bit on standoffs. The connectors, you can see the ones that are on the one side, the RCA, the PS2, and the DC connector, and all of the stereo jacks are on the other side. And switches and pots are on this side, and that includes the push-button switches for resetting the Fubarino and or programming the Fubarino. There's one switch you press, the program switch, you press and hold it while pressing and releasing the reset switch. I forgot to put copyright type information for my call, and particularly for the permission for the HyperMite circuit. They were supposed to be on the silk screen, but I apparently forgot them. So that's the fully assembled board. I have only tested it without mounting it in an enclosure by connecting it up to a LCD with these 2 cables. And eventually I will probably just mount it in this enclosure, which has the breadboard or perfboard prototype version, and the new printed circuit board version will plug right in there. So even though I will eventually make another enclosure, it will be much easier to mount the new one in here in place of the perfboard version, and hook it up to the rig and the internet and use it operationally for a while, like I always do with a new one. So functionally it's identical to the perfboard version that's in here, but infinitely easier to assemble. You know, this guy must have taken me several weeks off and on working on it, because I don't have the patience to just keep going. And the printed circuit board certainly makes a tremendous difference in the ease of assembly.